Welcome to Somerset Showcase. Today our guest is Sandy Batista, owner of Piri Piri Kitchen in Somerset. Today we're going to talk about some really good Portuguese food, as you can see. So Sandy, tell me how you opened the business. How did Piri Piri start?
Yeah, so I've been cooking for a really long time. I started a blog a couple of years ago, and actually started the blog a couple of years ago, but didn't start blogging until COVID-19 hit and I was home, and I realized that there was a need for not only talking about Portuguese food in our community, but also connecting. So one of the first videos I did, which was just for fun, was how to make a very simple bread, and it was alive and everybody could talk to me, and it was so much fun. And then from there it just kind of escalated, and then I created this deep dish bacalhau pizza, and bacalhau is codfish, which is one of our staple dishes in Portuguese cuisine, and it took off, kind of went viral, and everybody was calling and saying, can you make me one, can you make me one, can you make me one? And I'm like, I just showed you guys how to do it, like, you make yourself one. So we started making these bacalhau pizzas, and then with COVID-19 I really couldn't sell them. I couldn't do anything with them. I just could instruct people on how to do it. And this place, which was on County Street, 970 County Street, became available, and we jumped on the opportunity, and here we are.
And you moved to Somerset not that long
Yeah,
ago.
so we moved to Somerset 3 years ago, and it just feels like home. You know, it's very similar to where I grew up. I'm a Rhode Island, born and raised, bred Rhode Island girl. Cumberland, which is very nice, and Somerset was just as nice, and there's a beach 5 minutes from my house, so which made it great. And it's just a great place to raise your kids, and it's the people here, I just can't explain how wonderful they are.
And a great place for a Portuguese restaurant.
Great place for a Portuguese restaurant, apparently. I think the community here was shouting, we want Portuguese food. And there's a few places on the outskirts, you know, Fall River being the mecca of what's close to here, but having it in their own town, I think people really took pride in that, and you know, they gravitated, and they've been great so far. But on the other shoe, it means that we have to provide good food, because they'll tell you
Because we
straight
have a
to your
lot of
face.
experts here.
Everyone can make it at home, so it has to be as good as their mommy made it, you know.
But you also had a background in restaurants before you came here, right?
So I had a restaurant in Pawtucket, and I've worked in the restaurant business since I was 16. I sold my restaurant and worked for a couple of different places, and then actually during COVID-19, some of the local Portuguese restaurants would call me because they were shortage of staff, so they just needed hands on deck. So I would go and help them. I would work full time and go and help them as much as I could as well. So I've been doing this a really long time.
Yeah. The restaurant business isn't an easy business to.
You have to love it. Yeah. You have to love it, and you have to know it, and it's, you know, it can be a monster, and it can be a wonderful thing at the same time. So there's a fine balance. You know, you have to have tough skin to work in this business.
I used to work in a restaurant when I was in high school, and there was an older man who owned the restaurant, and I just washed dishes there. But he used to sit at a chair. He started at 7 in the morning, and he would sit in that chair until 11 at night, and he would never leave.
Yep. Yeah.
So you have to be here all the time.
You have to be here all the time, whether it's you know, actually it prepping, it's cooking, it's talking to the consumer. Because if you don't talk to your consumer, you're not going to know. You know, I blogged about this about a week after we opened, about you know, just being here and what happened on my day-to-day that first week. It was just wake up at 6 a.m., you know, go do this, go do that, go to that. Come 8 o'clock, you're like, oh my God, what just happened? You know, and then it's time to clean up. You're so exhausted. And just, if the owner isn't present, their dishes and their idea and their everything that they've worked so hard for isn't going to relate to the customer. It's not going to be the same, you know. And most owners will tell you that.
Well, so tell me about some of your special dishes, and that's the fun part.
Yeah, so go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh no, what have been some of your most popular entries?
Anything with Mozambique sauce, which I'm sorry I didn't make today. Mozambique sauce is a garlic saffron sauce and has a little bit of a kick. So we have shrimp Mozambique and chicken Mozambique, and we've introduced a flatbread shrimp Mozambique pizza, and that's topped with 3 eggs, and people love it. So anything with Mozambique, they just call and they're like, I'll take a quart of just the sauce. Which is great. We also have our bacalhau gomes de sá. So bacalhau gomes de sá is sauteed codfish and garlic and onions and Portuguese olive oil with some white pepper, fresh parsley, and we add boiled eggs to it. So it's so healthy for you. And then a boiled egg. I top it with some fresh garlic, a little bit more olive oil because you just can't have enough. Yeah. Some olives and some red pepper to give it a little bit of a kick because we are Piri Piri, which means spicy pepper. And this dish is actually the traditional wedding dish in Portugal. Okay. So if you have a wedding in Portugal, typically they'll have bacalhau gomes de sá. Right here I have a frango, and frango is charbroiled chicken. And it's the same chicken that you would find at the feasts over the fire. We don't have fire here, but we do have a grill. And it's marinated, and then we put our piri piri sauce on top, which gives it lots of flavor, very robust, savory, salty, a little kick kind of flavor, some banana peppers. It does have a little bit of lemon in it. It's typically served with rice and fries, but you can get it with salad or vegetable of the day. And here we have bolacha Maria pudding, which is everyone's favorite. And that's made with Maria cookies, which you can find at any grocer, and heavy whipping cream and condensed milk. So it's very light and fluffy, but it has that sweet, and it's great for that craving. And we do put a little bit of espresso at the bottom, so there's different layers of yum, I would say. And we do your typical steak plate, and just try to bring a lot of that Portuguese cuisine to Somerset, and mix it up with some fun stuff. Chicken marcellas on our platters menu. I make an awesome Italian lasagna with 5 cheeses and ground beef and veggie lasagna. So we try to mix it up a little bit.
It all sounds so good.
Good.
I like the healthy stuff with the.
Yeah.
That also sounds like it tastes really great.
It does. It does. If I do say so myself.
So where do your recipes come from? Where did you learn how to cook?
My grandparents and my parents. My grandfather was just an amazing cook. My mother is an amazing cook. She doesn't care for it. She'd rather, when it comes to household duties, she'd rather like cook, clean and do laundry, where I'd be like, I'll cook. I got this. But my grandfather was just an amazing cook. So two of his staple dishes were rabbit and tripe. So I'm actually going to make his tripe this weekend, which I haven't done yet. So I'm hoping that it translates. We have done the rabbit, and people love it. They're coming from everywhere to have the rabbit.
Wow, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's stewed rabbit, so it takes a few hours to cook, but the rabbit meat actually goes into the sauce. So you get your rabbit, you get that sauce with the little chunks of meat, and you get boiled potatoes and carrots, and you just need a whole lot of Portuguese bread to dip into that sauce to finish up the plate.
Okay, and you also have a lot of your family working here?
Yeah, so my parents help out, my kids help out, everybody's cut their hands in helping out. Paul, who's the other owner, helps out as well, and we're just, we put a lot of pride in what we do, and it takes a village, and they're my village, and I'm so grateful, humbled and grateful.
Tell me about these bottles of sauce that we have on the counter.
So exciting! So we just came out with our new line of Piri Piri sauce, and for those of you that don't know what Piri Piri is, it's a pepper that comes from India, and it's very spicy. It's little. In Portuguese, we call it malagueta. And over time, it's evolved into grab the Piri Piri sauce, which can mean grab anything that's hot. So my grandfather loved Tabasco. Like Tabasco was his thing. So we would always grab Tabasco. Oh, go get the Piri Piri. It would be Tabasco. My daughter loves sriracha. I've never seen so much sriracha in my life, but I have a whole boatload if anybody needs some at home. And she puts sriracha on everything. So that's her Piri Piri. So it just means bring on the hots, which is the tagline for the sauce. We do have a medium and we have a hot. And hopefully next year, for those of you that need a little more, we'll have the extra hot coming out, knock on wood. So we've partnered up with friends of ours in Canada, Casa de Tias, and the Henry Gonzalez Company, which is based out of Rhode Island, who are our distributors, and they're fantastic. And we've come out with our own line, so hopefully in the near future, most likely this week, we'll be doing some videos, start doing videos again, on how to utilize the sauce, and you can marinate, but it's also a great dipping sauce because every time I turn around, someone's dipping French fries or chicken finger in it. So it's a great sauce to have at home on the table, especially for Thanksgiving or the holidays.
Well, speaking of the holidays, what do you have here for Thanksgiving?
So for Thanksgiving, we're doing platters. We are doing family style platters from 8 to 1. We are asking people to pre-order. We will have some items available here for grab and go. Oh my gosh, I forgot to get something. You can swing by here between 8 and 1 because we do want to be home with our family and rest a little bit and play some cards, which I love to do. I might be a little bit of a card shark. But we will have it, so they can call us, they can inbox us, they can email us. I am introducing Portuguese stuffing, so if anybody wants to purchase that. We started making stuffies, which have been a huge hit.
Yeah, around here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you know what? The consumer around here really knows their stuffy, so it had to be a really good one. I knew that right off the bat. So you can purchase stuffies, empanadas, which people love, and of course your basics, your shrimp Mozambique, your lanchana, because what's happening is people are calling and they're like, I'm making turkey, I'm making stuffing, but my father-in-law's coming and he doesn't eat food unless it's Portuguese food. We're so grateful you're here. Can you make me a tray of codfish? So, yeah, trying to do our best. Just trying to do our best.
Now, you told me before you like to take traditional Portuguese dishes and kind of put your own flair on them.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I like to have fun with the dishes. So I feel like you take a traditional dish like a bacalhau gomsa, which is amazing, and then you add a little bit of twist like chickpeas, raw onions, and maybe a little saffron to it. It takes it to another level. And I feel like people my age, the moms out there that, we've been eating this stuff all our lives, but we want a little bit something different. You want to take it to another level. So my bacalhau à brás, which is sautéed codfish with French fries and scrambled egg, I take little potato sticks and put it on top. So you're getting that traditional, but you're getting this little crunch, and you're like, it's like kind of like putting like wontons on top of your chicken, on top of your Chinese food, which is fantastic. You get a little bit of crunch. Yeah, take a pragu and I'll make it a loaded pragu. Pragu is our steak sandwich. We add like sautéed mushrooms and onions and mayo and a Dijon mustard, and all of a sudden it's another level. You're almost Americanizing it. And making it a little bit more conducive to the market around here as well.
No, it seems like whenever we have a new restaurant open around here, people get excited. I think it's the curiosity factor about how it's going to be. You've been open since September. How has your response been since you've been here?
It's been great. I hear a lot of, as long as you're consistent, we'll keep coming back. We know that people can't have Portuguese food all the time. So we do try to switch it up and add, different things to the menu as specials. But the response has been great. It's just a matter of reaching more consumers around here, but they're coming. They're coming, and we're so grateful.
What does piri piri mean?
So piri piri is a spicy pepper, and the reason I chose it is because my grandfather was so special to me and so influential in my cooking, and it was just one of those things that I remember most about him. So having that with me, and having that the name of the restaurant just means a lot. So it's just bring on the hots, grab me something spicy. He used to, red pepper flakes, which we use all the time. Everybody uses, whether you put it on pizza or American chop suey or whatever it is. I would grab for it, and he would like hit my hand. Oh, what was that? He'd be like, "That isu enganash pessoas." In other words, you have to be careful with that because you don't realize how spicy it is, and all of a sudden you have 2 or 3 in your mouth, and you're like, you don't know what to do with yourself. So it just means bring on the hots, bring on something spicy.
Okay, but you like to have your hands in the dough.
Yes.
I know that.
Mãos na massa. I love to have my mãos na massa. I always have. I've worked every position in this restaurant that you could ever, business that you could ever imagine, and people, even from Rhode Island, they're coming from Rhode Island because they know of me, of my restaurant there. They're coming here to get food, and they're like, "Wow, you really love to cook, huh? You really want to be in the food." I'm like, I want to have my hands in the dough. Yep.
Yeah. That's good for Somerset that you're having people come here from other places.
Come everywhere.
That helps business.
Yes, it does. Well, it doesn't necessarily just help ours. You know, it's opening up. So we're in a plaza with George's Creations, with Cindy's. There's a construction company. There's all these little businesses. So whether they're coming to get a haircut down the road and they're getting a sandwich here, or whether they're getting a sandwich here and they realize that there's a wonderful like woman's shop next door, it's fantastic for Somerset. You know, that's the way I look at it. One hand washes the other.
Yeah. How now? Tell me about the pandemic and how that's impacted your business and what you're doing to make things safe for people.
Well, we're trying to keep everyone safe, whether it's my family, whether it's someone else's family. That's the way we look at it. We're all family, right? So we're taking all the proper precautions. We're following the governor's guidelines. You'll see me constantly spraying Lysol when no one's in here. If you're driving by, like, what is that crazy lady doing? She's spraying Lysol, and just trying to make sure that we all stay safe, healthy, and that we're providing the consumer that that serenity, you know, and that satisfaction of knowing, okay, we see them with their spray bottles, we know they're Cloroxing, or I don't even know if that's a word, I might have just made that up, sanitizing, but the way I look at it is your family is my family, and we're trying to make sure that everyone's safe.
Okay. No, you're also a multi-talented person from what I understand. You also do some music. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've been singing since I was 5 years old. My dad's a musician, and he brought me on stage when I was 5. Right now I sing with a Portuguese American band. We're a general business band. There's nothing going on, so we're not really playing anywhere. Band Faith, and I sing fado. I started singing fado maybe about 10 years ago, and I love it. So Rhode Island PBS contacted me about doing a video. I don't know if I can say that. Can I say that? Yeah, okay. Rhode Island PBS contacted me about doing a video for their fundraiser this year. So we did this beautiful fundraiser, and we went to the water fire building, and you know, for me, the moment of wow was when they said, okay guys, get the drones. I was like, what do you mean drones? So they had, you know, all these drones, and it was just such a wonderful video. And my aunts suggested that I submit the video to a contest in Portugal, which is sponsored by EDP, which is their energy company over there. And now I'm in this contest in Portugal, and just trying to keep music alive over here. Yeah. You know, there's so many musicians that just aren't gigging right now, and they're hurting. So
yeah, a lot of virtual concerts and things like that now, but not much live.
If you come by Piri Piri Kitchen, most likely you'll hear me singing in the back. So if you're looking for a concert, I don't look like this when I'm in the kitchen. Let's just be real here. I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and my hair's up in a bun, and there's absolutely no makeup on my face. But you'll hear me singing in the kitchen.
And you know you moved into Music Town, so that's a good thing.
Oh, why do they call it Music Town?
Somerset is called Music Town.
Really?
They have a long tradition at the high school. they didn't have it this year because
COVID.
because of the pandemic, but we have a big music festival every year, and you'll see the parade going down the street and every October.
Wow, I'd love to be a part of that someday.
Yeah,
Bring a little bit of Portuguese to it, or even English. I mean, I sing them both, but
they accept people who want to be in it, so you should.
yeah, I didn't know
you
that.
should
That's
ask them,
fantastic.
yeah.
Serendipity. So yeah, so we, we're just trying to keep the music alive and keep moving forward, and hopefully 2021 will be a better year for everyone, including musicians.
Okay, and what are your hours for people?
So we're Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We're open 11:30 to 6. We are closed on Tuesdays because that is the day that I do laundry and match socks at my house. Fridays we're open 11:30 to 8. We are here a little early, so if you can catch us, we'll make food for you because I know some people start the day early. Saturdays 11:30 to whenever the phone stops ringing, but 11:30 to 6, and Sundays 11:30 to 5.
And you're located at 970 County Street.
Yes.
In Somerset.
Mm-hmm. Right next to George's Creation and, of course, Dunkin' Donuts, because being a Rhode Islander, that's how we give directions. Just turn left at the Dunkin', right at the Dunkie. That's how we do it. So I'm right now next door to a Dunkin'.
Yeah. Pretty much everywhere you drive around here, you can see one of them.
It's not a bad thing.
Okay, so you're going to be doing a performance for us. Usually we have a separate musical guest, but since you do everything, we're going to have you perform for us.
I'd love to.
Foi por vontade de Deus que eu vivo nesta ansiedade, que todos os desejos são meus, que é toda a minha saudade. Foi por vontade de Deus. Que estranha forma de vida tem este o meu coração. Vive de forma perdida, quem diria o condão? Que estranha forma de vida. Coração independente, coração que não comando, vives perdido entre a gente, eternamente sangrando. Coração independente. Eu não te acompanho mais, para, deixa de bater. Se não sabes onde vais, para, deixa de sofrer. Eu não te acompanho mais. Estranha forma de vida.
Thank you to our guest today, Sandy Batista, for telling us about her restaurant and her unbelievable singing. Come to Piri Piri for dinner, 970 County Street, and I think I'm going to try that bacala pizza.